Blog Talk Radio.
This is my testimony. Oh, yes, it is. Hey, here we go. I'm moving forward. Gotta keep on pressing. I've learned my lesson. Moving on my way. I'm moving forward. Gotta keep on pressing. I've learned my lesson. Moving on my way. Totally committed. Though I've been a misfit, I've been rejected. With Christ, He will accept me. No, it's not an easy street. I thank God He keeps me. When I wanted to run away, God said, "Come on to me and stay." I'm moving forward. Yeah, I gotta keep on pressing. I've learned my lesson. Moving on my way. You see, I'm moving forward. Gotta keep on pressing. I have learned my lesson. Oh yeah. Had suicide on the brain, but God came with the latter rain. Depression weighed me down. Now I'm moving to higher ground. My past was hurting me. The enemy thought I could not see God's plan He had for me. I got told the victory. I'm moving. The devil can't stop me, and you can't block me. No weapon formed against me, it can't prosper. No, no. I'm moving forward. I am unstoppable. In Jesus Christ, yes I am. Oh, moving. Oh, yes I am. Moving forward. I got to move. I am unstoppable. If I have to walk alone, I can't stop now. I got to press toward the mark of the prize in Jesus Christ. I'm moving. I press toward the mark of the Lord Jesus. Forward, yes I will. I'm moving forward. I won't go back. I can't look back. I got to move forward. I won't go back. You can't stop me. I will not. No weapon formed. I am moving forward. Yes I am. Forward. Yes I am. Oh yeah. I don't believe that you'll move.
Yo, it's your boy DJ 9D, and I'm here to let y'all know it's going down September 25th between 7 and 11 p.m. at the Studio House Atlanta. Yes, Hook Up Atlanta is back. Mr. Hanky will be in the building as we rock to Twerkulator, Wobble, Living My Best Life, and more. It will be filled with live performances from independent artists, vendors, food, drinks, industry professionals, networking, and more. For tickets or to learn, visit atlantamusicindustry.com. That's music with a Z, not S. Pre-sale tickets will be available. And yes, Kicking the Old School will be in the building, so come hook up with us.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move, unscripted ladies round table discussion. And yes, we are back, and we're about to have some deep discussion. Not really deep, but deep enough. You know how we do what we do, how we do it. So anyway, my ladies is coming on the line. I see them. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna pop to the first one that I saw pop in, and I believe that's R. Marie in the house. What's going on, R. Marie?
Well, hey there. Hello, everybody. I'm doing pretty
what's
good.
Going on, sister?
Huh? How's
You say,
what?
what's going on, sister?
Oh, nothing much. Just a long week. I'm in transitioning with moving, and I was blessed with the option of I have 30 days to kind of get everything through here, which I see my time is dwindling down to 3 weeks. So I've just been making some moves, making a few alterations at the new place to make it comfortable for me, trying something new. Besides that, everything has been good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad you had a good week and stuff. That's what's going on. So before I move on to Kim, I just want to say I know moving is such a challenging experience. Like I freaking hate the thought of it sends me into a panic mode. So I know, what you're going through right now, trying to leave a house that you've been in for 18 years, and like that whole transition. I know it's hard, Marie.
I've been in my house for 24 years. So besides 24 years of memories, yes, there's so much stuff I've accumulated, things I was supposed to do, didn't get around to doing between procrastinating and working. Just didn't get around to doing it. So I'm glad I had this time because I'm like, if I haven't used it in the last 3 to 6 months, if it's a value, I don't know, maybe I'll send it to Goodwill, but I'm going to be throwing a lot of stuff in the trash. It's outdated or just whatever. But, I'm trying to be excited. The excitement isn't there yet because the overwhelmment is still there. So I'm just trying to be excited, like, you know what, just do one room at a time. Yeah. And so that's where I'm
at. Okay, well, you'll get through it. You'll get through it, Mamacita. I got faith in you. What's going on? Kimberly McKent, Queen Goddess, King freaking advocate in the house. How has your week been?
It's been busy, productive, dope, amazing, all of that. It's been really good, though. I cannot complain. Business is picking up, getting more counseling clients, which I'm glad of. I've been asked to be a part of 2 groups for the men to help them organize their thing to help other men. So I'm really pleased with that. And I'm rebranding, so I've been doing that all week. For the past couple of weeks, actually, that's what I've been doing, rebranding. So my Massage and Wellness has a new look, new logo, new everything. Working on the website now. I've got my labels together. I'm still working on them, but I pretty much got them together so I can get my products out and really market it. Get them in the stores.
What's your email? What's your website address again?
It's Myo My Wellness. So MYOMY Wellness.com. MYOMY Wellness?
Yes. Okay. I wanted to add it to the thing. I forgot to add that. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to do that. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you is moving and grooving, and so that song "Moving Forward" that I played right before the show started, that hits both you and R. Marie right now.
Indeed.
Shoot. That's what's up. That's what's up. I've had my week has been stressful to a degree, but I've been moving forward. Like, I'm so excited about Hookup Atlanta. I don't know if you remember, Kim, when Marvin and I had our first Hookup Atlanta event when I was still living in Atlanta. Do you remember that?
Of course I do. I was there.
Yeah, because you was there. I'm tripping. You was there. So we're going to have...
You were tripping.
I know. I'm sorry. So we're having another one. And this one is going to be September the 25th. And it's going to be in Atlanta at Studio House Atlanta. And Mr. Hankey's going to be there. And it's going to be a lot of artists performing. We're going to have vendors. There's going to be food. There's going to be drink. There's going to be dancing. I want the longest, largest wobble. I don't know how to wobble. I never freaking learned that darn song. I always look like a kid in training every time the ladies and guys get out there and start doing it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, one of these days, it's sad because they've been wobbling everywhere. Like, you cannot go to a freaking party anywhere in the United States, if that party ends without a wobble song, something wrong. Somebody forgot something, they messed up. So I'm like, I want the longest wobble there ever. Like, I'm really excited. For those people who don't have tickets, you can get a ticket if you go to hookupatlanta.eventbrite.com, or you can go straight to the website, atlantamusicindustry.com, and the music is with a Z and not an S. Either way, you can get to the tickets. So right now we're doing a pre-sale. So the tickets are only like $20, which is going to be well worth the experience. But the closer we get to the event, the ticket price is going to change. So I advise everyone who you think you want to come, now will be the time to get your tickets because that's when they're the cheapest. But the talent that we got coming, baby. And we're doing a contest. We're doing a live contest in the Atlanta Music Industry Group. So now artists who they want to win a slot and this, that, and the other different things, different prizes or whatever, they have to submit a Facebook Live of them performing. So we can see how they will be on stage. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be fun. Right. And the way you're going to win some money and, an interview and perform. It's going to be like, I'm so excited, y'all. I'm really, really excited, and it's cool because MBJ Live, he's still gonna be a part of it. Like, we still rocking, that theme. So I'm at a good place right now. But it's been. Let me tell you something. I need some help. I need an assistant. I need some people to help me because I ain't gonna be able to do all this administrative stuff by myself. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I need to hire me some help. I need something. Yeah, but
get you some interns.
I'm gonna have to interns. If you listen right now and you ever want to see what it was like to work in the entertainment industry, or you really want to see what it's like behind the scenes, any of that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Please inbox me on Facebook, Patricia M. Goins, or send me a message through the Atlanta Music Industry, AtlantaMusicIndustry.com or something, and let's talk because I need some help. I worked so much. I took a nap today, and I swear I felt like I had slept in 50 years. I felt so rejuvenated. So, yeah, but I'm excited. So I'm excited about, it's been a while since, last week, I don't think the last couple of weeks, we kind of been off, kind of derailed a little bit, but we're coming back with a really great topic. And actually, you suggested this, Kim. Why don't more men support female movements and organizations? Like, that is a really interesting topic, and you can attack it in a whole lot of different ways. On a big level, right. You know what I'm saying? Or even in a small level, like your relationship between you and your boo or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Your husband, your wife, or whatever. Like, there's so many different ways you can attack that. And I was just like, wow, that's deep to me. Like, why is it? Some men do. Yeah. But for those who don't, why don't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that?
Right. So I can give my thought. Oh, my bad. Point. I can give my thought.
That's a behind the scenes situation, y'all.
Okay.
We try to figure it out.
Okay. Some of it could be that a lot of men are intimidated by what the movement is or what it may do to them or prevent them from having access to. Because what has happened a lot is that the movements are women empowerment movements. And to a lot of men, that's scary to them. You know what I'm saying? That's intimidating to them because it's like, what does that mean, women empowerment? If they become empowered, then I lose my own power. I lose my control. So they're definitely not going to support something that they feel that they would lose out in. You know what I'm saying? It's like it threatens their position as far as they would But see, again, that's just my thought. Not a man, never been one, just trying to go there. That I think that it's more threatening for them to show, to support those types of things, because it eliminates in their minds or lessens the strength of their own position.
That's deep to me, because that's like saying, well, I don't want her to rise because then she might think she running stuff, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or I don't want her to rise because her organization might outdo my organization, and stuff like that. When like, come on now, why not want us to rise? Like, why not work together? Like, why not help us? Two is always stronger than one anyway. And when a man and woman come together, they just got that special kind of combination power that I can't explain when they're on one accord and they're in agreement. Like, ain't nothing like it. So I don't understand, why they feel insecure or just feel like in that competitive spirit type thing when it comes to women. You know what I'm saying? But then if they think about it, women, if I'm not mistaken, women were the last ones to get the right to even vote. The African American men got to vote before the women of any color.
Yeah. You can't forget, though, men do have the spirit of jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't look at it as men having that character, because jealousy, envy is typically a feminine trait. Okay, so for a man to have that trait, we don't consider that an option. But you have plenty males that are jealous of women, that are jealous of their accomplishments, or are jealous of their positions, or their status, their wealth, whatever it is. They're jealous because they've not obtained anything for themselves, based that on like their age or what they've been through or whatever, or just how they're looked at by society, that they're supposed to have. They're supposed to be the providers and blah, blah, blah. But they can't provide. They can't be providers if they have nothing to provide. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that makes them insecure in their position, because technically they don't have no position as far as that's concerned. So that jealousy and that envy is real.
And that's really sad. That it's really sad that it's like that. I remember I was in a relationship, when I was married, and I had another really long-term relationship with my youngest son's father, and I've always been different as far as women go. I've always been that entrepreneur. That's all. That spirit has I've always had that entrepreneur spirit. And so, the men in my life just could not, I don't know if they just couldn't understand it, or they just, they were worried that it would take away from the home, or I don't know what it was, but they were never freaking supportive. I felt like I was fighting against whatever I was fighting to try to build what I'm trying to build, and fighting at home with the man I'm with, because he's like, oh, you doing that when you should be doing it. Like, no support. It wasn't until I've gotten with Mr. Stout that I've really met a man that I've been in a intimate relationship with who really supports me. Like, this is all new for me. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely have felt that throughout my career. I've even felt it where, men try to do things to keep me from rising on purpose. They knew they could open that door. Or they knew they could assist me. Or they knew they could help me. And they just freaking refused to do it. Like, I've had those situations.
Yeah. I experienced that situation as well, when I was with somebody, and I had took up acting. It was something that I've always done. I've always did acting in school, from elementary with churches to middle school, in high school. I was always in some form, so I had an opportunity to perform the show for Color Girls long before Tyler Perry got to the movie and made it a movie, and it was so exciting for me. But, and at the time I was married, my husband was just extremely unsupportive. You just go in there because there's some guys going to be, it was always something to you know, I just was like, wow, anything I try to do, he tries to correlate it with you're trying to cheat. You're trying to cheat. You know, and I was always told if a man is constantly accusing you of doing something wrong, that's his conscience telling on him because he's doing something wrong. You know, even when I became a nurse and I got with a long-term relationship with the guy, you know, just the mere fact that I made $3 more than him, $3. I mean, it's like every argument, you just think you better than me. You think you better than me. You know, I'm like, I have never. That's not even in my aura. That's not even part of my personality. But he was just so insecure because I made more money. And I was I was good with saving my money, you know, because everybody goes through a rainy day. It's highly important to have money put aside for that because you don't know when it's coming. But, you know, God made tear ducts for all of us for a reason, you know, because we're going to use them at some point in our life. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like you do have a much better relationship when your partner, be it a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, whatever relationship, you know, intimate relationship that you're in, it's very important that you're supportive of each other, you know, and that like you're your biggest supporter. You know, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm screaming out the most like, hey, baby, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. You know, but in turn, we need that too. Because a lot of times, a lot of women will stop in their life what they're doing to please that person, and then later on there's resentment because you feel like you could have been so much further if you just would have had somebody in your corner, as opposed to always being the person you have to argue with. And that's my take on it.
Point. So I remember when what was the house Stella Got Her Groove Back? That wasn't the one. What's the one that Mary J. Blige sung that song to? 11 long years.
Waiting to Exhale.
Waiting to Exhale. Wasn't that the situation with Waiting to Exhale? If you remember in the beginning, she had helped her husband build. Like, they was a teamwork. She let go of all her own dreams and stuff because he was like, you got to help me. You got to help me. We got to do this. And then when they did it and they built their thing, then he left her for somebody else. That happens too. And then now she's looking at like, I didn't put my life on hold for all these years helping you, and as soon as you get to where you gotta get to, you drop me? Like, are you for real? Like, if I wasn't helping you, I could have been made 3 or 4 companies.
Right. Yeah. Point. But to be fair with it, we didn't see what happened before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get to see that this black woman is mad at her husband because he left her for a white woman, and, you know, while she helped him build his business. We didn't see if she was still being a wife to him. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see all of that. We just know the part that they show us. You know what I'm saying? So if it was a true story, a behind the scenes type of thing, it could have been justified, but we're just being shown the ugly part of it. We don't know if that was you know what I'm saying? We don't know if that was the full case, but in keeping on topic, it is definitely necessary for couples to support one another. It's like, even if you don't really agree with what they're doing, because it's just good to know that the person that you're with supports at least your passion in what you're doing, even if they don't support the movement itself. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was married, and I was still doing. I was just starting out doing massage. I was already established though. Okay, I already had my stuff. I was already making money. My husband at the time decides that he wants to start his own business. I said, well, cool. You know, we can do that. I said, but how about, since I'm already doing this, is already moving a little bit, how about if we build this up first and then, you know, start another business? He wasn't with that. He wanted to start his business, which meant he got to learn some new shit first. He got to spend some money, a whole lot of money on building websites and, all this kind of stuff, marketing. You got to learn it. So you're spending more money than what's actually coming in because now nothing is coming in. Nothing. I'm not doing a whole lot of work, but I'm doing enough to bring in some income. But he didn't want to support me at all. And he didn't. And he meant that.
He never started supporting you?
No, ma'am. He never got me clients, told anybody what I did. He never bought a towel, a oil bottle, nothing. He never did any of it. Nothing.
Wow.
Not one time.
Wow. That's deep.
And then had the nerve to take me off of the bank account. Girl, don't get me started. They had the nerve to take me off of the bank account for the business that he started. Although I'm doing all the back end work. I said, okay, you do that. Yeah, you do that because there was no money coming in. It didn't matter. But this is fact. You know what I'm saying? But here we are.
Wow, that's deep. He took you. Wait a minute. You helped him to build his business, and once he got it to a certain level, and he wasn't even making money, he took you off. What? Like really?
I don't even know how far. Yeah, I don't even know how far the business actually got, to tell you the truth. But whatever it did it because I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't trip.
Point, like I said, that male and female connection, that Adam and Eve, that Bonnie and Clyde, that Superman, is like that energy when y'all work together. They don't even understand that. Like you'll get so much further. Anything you give a woman, is once you give it to her, she's going to, most of the time, unless got some other issues, whatever, because you always got them. But most of the time, anything you give a woman is going to grow. So that's just, I think it's just like our natural, like we were built to, like it's because of us that the world is populated. Like life comes through us anyway. So if life comes through us anyway, you got to know that anything you give us, we're going to cultivate and we're going to put more to it. That's just the way it is. So they're really hindering themselves. You know what I'm saying? They think that they getting ahead, but really you're hurting yourself because when you hurt the one that got your back, when you hurt the one that can help you get far, you're just digging a hole for yourself. You may not realize it right then, but you're gonna look back and be like, "Damn, I done left 80% to get with 20% because of female because I thought I had it going on. Now that there's 20% female who ain't doing nothing, and my 80%, dang, she done moved on to somebody who saw her value and was like, you know what? Listen, I got your back. Daggone shame.
Point. And then that's also a reason why the woman has decided to join or create women's empowerment movements and organizations because of the lack of support from the man. Mm-hmm. She got to have support somewhere. So she's going to join other women that have the same issue. Well, if we can't get support from them, we're going to just do it with one another. And that's okay. And that's also why they won't support it, because they know, probably subconsciously, that they're the reason why it became necessary in the first place.
Ain't that something? I think that's just deep. It's like they know. They know. Men know they know. So you decided you didn't want to work with this particular woman. So you kicked her to the curb for whatever your reason was why you didn't want to work with her. So she didn't went and found a whole nother group of women. Now, mind you, we women have our we give life. You didn't went from 1 to about 10, 15, 20, 30. You got to know they about to create something massive. And all you can do for the males who do not understand that is just sit back and just watch them. And that's where a lot of times they go above and beyond, be doing underhanded, dirty stuff. You ever been in a relationship with someone who, they wasn't supporting you, and as soon as you got things going on, they start to cause issues at home that you know darn well you ain't really mad. That daggone mad about, me leaving the bathroom door open. I know you ain't that daggone mad I didn't put the jelly back where it was supposed. I know you ain't that man. No, it's something else. Why are you staying out? Like, why are you causing confusion at home? Why? Because because the first thing they'll say when they do that kind of stuff, they'll say, well, if you wasn't all concentrating on all that stuff over there, you paying attention at home, then you would understand what I'm going through. What?
Right. Exactly.
But let it be them. Let it be them, Kim. Let it be them that gotta go do this, that, the other, and it's a woman. The woman better support, or there's problems at home.
Right. So then he'll find another woman that will.
That 20%. Yeah. That little Tina.
That's
little Tina don't know nothing about no hard work.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Because little Tina,
not all men.
Point Kim, little Tina look cute. She got big boobies and a big butt and all that kind of stuff. So they lead a hard working woman.
Right.
Get little Tina, but little Tina ain't about to even answer the phone and take a message for you, bro.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. And so you were saying that you felt like, so when we were talking about this discussion, you were saying something about the male, the female, a masculine female and a feminine male, or something like that. Explain what you were saying.
Well, that was a totally different subject matter, but we're talking about. If you want to talk about it, we can. But that was like a different topic.
I thought you were saying it in conjunction to the fact that some women, we have. I ain't gonna say testosterone, but we just got strong wills that might seem manly like or something like that because of our go-getter, like for instance, female entrepreneurs. They have that drive that like some men they do. There's some women who they're focused on what they're gonna do and they got that thing. And then men who are not as strong-willed as the woman might be feel inferior. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, and be whiny, and fussing and shit. Right. That's acting like a woman.
I hear you. Point though, it is an issue. So the thing is that people are not really understanding the energies are masculine and feminine. It's just that the energies are masculine and feminine. One is stronger or softer than the other. The masculine energy in a woman, if it's a healthy level, let me put it that way, a healthy, balanced masculine energy in a female will cause her to get up and be a hustler. She will have a hustle mentality. She will have a get-it-done mentality. There's a whole lot more focus in that, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to let anything or anybody stop her from getting what she needs to get. It's a must. Okay, that's like the survival side. The feminine side, the feminine energy of the woman is going to be, okay, well, let me just sit back, let me chill, let me maybe just be creative or whatever. I'm in my cute mode. You know what I'm playing with that, but it's this softness that she may not want to do a whole bunch of get out and go do. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of work. You put it that way. Mm-hmm. But it's still balanced. When you have a man who has an unhealthy level of feminine energy, he ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that. There's nothing happening. That's the one that's on the couch playing the video games all day. He doesn't have no drive. He's got no drive, no ambition. He don't want to do nothing. He can't focus. He's got no get up and go. No, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to sit at home and he's going to find a reason to bitch at the masculine energy of the woman who's going to do everything. He's going to find a reason to do that because he's not balanced in his feminine energy. He's allowed to have feminine energy because he can chill, you know what I'm saying? But when it's overwhelming, he's non-productive. And if the woman is so much in her masculine energy while the man is so much in his feminine energy, then he's going to say, or he's going to feel, and she's going to say, I don't need your ass. And that's going to be because he's not doing anything in that feminine energy. So, no, she doesn't at that point need him because he ain't doing shit. But he'll take that and run with it and, hold on to it for dear life. Like, that's what she's saying forever. No, that's what she's saying right now. Because right now you're doing nothing.
Point.
You're doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than watching the woman run around like a chicken with her head cut off, doing everything, and the man chilling somewhere, eating chicken and watching the game with 15 beer bottles. Like, what are you doing? And it's just, it's like, like that's a very unequally yoked type balance. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times why relationships get into a lot of issues because of that imbalance. The man, sometimes he gets so used to the woman doing everything and being that person and doing that thing that he just like, oh, she got it. No, we teach this. Because then after a while you start to feel like the burden, that's like the weight on your shoulders, and it just make it worse if you got all this stuff and you looking at, your man on the couch talking about, I don't even know why you doing that. I already told you it wasn't going to work. Instead of getting in and helping you to fix the problem.
Right.
I've noticed I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I've noticed that planks. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you called it. Go ahead. You called it.
I was just going to say, men, some men, I'm going to say some. I don't want to say all because I don't want any males who are listening to this to think that I'm talking about all men because that is not the case. There is definitely some bomb diggity men who's holding it down. I am not talking about that population at all. But some men, they will verbally abuse a woman, try to bring her down to the lowest common denominator of doggity dogness just because he does not like that strength in her. He will browbeat her down. He will browbeat any idea, even if he know it's a good idea. Some of them will browbeat it. That ain't about to work. Man, my cousin JoJo tried that about 10 years ago, and he ain't never recovered. That ain't about to happen. You ain't going to be able to do that. That's not going to come. You ain't got the skill. You ain't been to school. Do you know how many people trying to do that? That's what they do. They do all that right there.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
That's the word. I can't take that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to give you another example that I was told in my marriage that I was unnatural. I said, "Squeeze me? What do you mean?"
You were
unnatural. Unnatural, honey. Unnatural. So I'm looking at.
I don't even understand that. Like, what is unnatural?
So
because you were different from the rest?
I'm going to tell you what he was relating that to, okay? So he tells me I'm unnatural. So I'm looking at him like, well, if I'm unnatural, sir, what does that make you?
Right.
So what was going on was because of my ability to communicate with people and get things done, okay? It's that, get it done. He asked me to help him get some financial backing again for this business of his that he and another brother were trying to start. So he mind you, I'm not part of that business. He just want me to help him get the money for it.
Oh, you ain't part of the business though.
Yeah, I'm not part of the business though. I was like, okay, bet, whatever. So he's like, yeah, we need to get this amount of money, blah blah blah. And he turns and looks at me like, oh, but I know you got that. I know you can handle that. Oh, what though? Yeah, I probably could, but guess who's not? I'm not doing that. a husband, a whole husband. Act like that. You know what I'm saying? Do something. I'm not trying to wear your pants. I will buy your pants, iron your pants, lay your pants out, even help you get in your pants, but I ain't wearing them shit. You know what I'm saying? So for him to have the thought or knowing that I have the ability to hold it down because I had to before made me unnatural in his eyes.
That's crazy.
Okay. It's real crazy. So yeah, we not doing that. So since me being able to hold it down makes me unnatural, let me fall all the way back and do nothing and see what you do. Then
another one. Let me tell you another point. Another one. What they'll say. I already was doing this. I already know how to do this. I really don't need your help. I'm just letting you help me because I really don't need you. Okay.
Definitely. Right.
You really don't need me. Okay. You know what? There was a relationship that I had before, and this is part of that mental abuse, that mental beatdown type thing. Because I remember when I first wanted to sing, well, two different occasions. I first wanted to sing, and my ex was just like, you won't sing? You ain't going to be able to sing? You can't sing? You know, just like crushing it, you know. And I'm like, well, shit, maybe I can't sing because he said I can't sing. Well, maybe I can't, you know. But then when I ended up breaking out of my shell, I'm like, boom, you know what I'm saying? I can look back at them days and like, that was that crush my spirit type tactic. And I had another one. He was just like, you're my curse. I'm your curse. Bruh, if it wasn't for me, your ass would have been on the ground around the corner. By the way, we've been in this trench together. I've been helping you rise. Now you done got up there and you can talk about I'm your curse. But you better understand what is the word curse and blessing like, yeah. But that's that mental beat down type stuff.
Yeah.
That's that.
I would love to hear from some men, though. I would love to hear from the men. How about y'all call in? How about that? 516-387-1247. Because I know y'all listening. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all in the background listening, so you might as well call in and tell us what you think, because I already know it's like a natural thing. Y'all sit back in the cut and just be, I hope y'all taking notes while y'all listening. Call in. 516-387-1247. I mean, because it would be nice to hear, like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that some, and notice I said the word some men are so intimidated. Like women who are single, who are, you know, in the business world, a lot of times they say it's hard for them to find a relationship. And so I'm trying to understand why. Like, you're beautiful, you know, you got it going on, you're in the corporate world, you're doing your thing. Why is it that men are not approaching you? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. Like, why would you? Is it because, you feel like I'm not a man anymore? Or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, you quiet back there, sister girl.
She over there packing something.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
She probably stepped away. You know, she's literally in between moving, so she's probably jumping in and jumping out. You know how we do.
Indeed.
But
yeah, it's like that insecurity is something else, man. That when a man is so insecure, and I don't even know if I should be saying man or just male, but when they are so insecure in their own abilities, their position, or whatever, that they cannot find the ability to support their woman in what she's doing, that's an illness. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something seriously wrong with that. And it also comes from slave conditioning. That's a slave mentality as well. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got to go that deep into it tonight, but there's some conditioning in that. And that needs to be addressed. There's no way we should be a couple and you can't support me in what I'm doing, but you expect me to support you in everything you're doing. And we're supposed to be in the same household with the same goal of, you know, unifying us, whatever it is. Why? Why I can't get that support from you? Like the brother that I'm now officially in a relationship with, not necessarily
okay.
Officially. No, you didn't.
You trying to slide that on in there? I'm gonna take you off the air, man. You trying to say, I'm listening. I'm right up here on my Mac, and I hear every word. Are we gonna talk after this?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's official, baby. It's official. So
wow.
I'm happy about that.
Wow.
But he's not necessarily in agreement with the King advocacy. He's not necessarily in agreement with that. However, he supports my passion in it. He's like, and when you get tired of marching and stomping, come on home and rub your feet. That's support. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be out here doing what I'm doing. You don't have to, support it that way. But support me is what, you know what I'm saying? Me. Support me. So I know, when I'm out here doing what I'm doing, that when I come home, my feet getting rubbed. You all right? How was your day? You know what I'm saying? I'll get that. And some men males, whatever, don't understand that you don't have to be completely in agreement with what your woman is doing. You may not understand her purpose, her calling, why she's doing what she's doing. But just support the fact that she's passionate enough to do it, that she's pursuing it. You don't have to always know why she's doing it, because it could very well be something much bigger than you spiritually. She's doing what she's called to do. So it don't have nothing to do with you understanding it or not. Just support her as her mate, period.
Right. Just support her as her mate. Just be there. Just, it always feels, to me, like in the relationship that, like I was talking about before, where they were not supporting me, and the one guy was like, you're a curse, this, that, and the other. But now I've met a man who sees me as a blessing, and we are just compatible. And so now I'm understanding now the difference between, the relationship I'm in now versus the ones that I was in. And I'm saying it's not that the men don't see the women's potential. I know that the men in my life see my potential. There was something unique about me that pulled me to them, because they always knew I was different. You know what I'm saying? So I know there was, but it was something that they just could not. I don't know. I think it was a control. I'm guessing it's a control thing too, because women have always been seen as inferior for a long time, and the man is in control, and the man runs the household for many years. In the 50s and 40s and 30s, the man did. The man ruled the house. You know what I'm saying? But times have changed, and I don't know if it's changed because when it became a single parent thing, and the women had to take care of the kids, take care of the family, of the household by themselves, they had to get that type of energy about them to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And I think the men, that we raised boys also who we was doing everything for. So they became laxy-daisy because they had mama doing everything. Mama did me here, mama did me that, mama did me that, man. I'm 40 years old. I'm still living with mama. You know what I'm saying? So when they get in a relationship, they don't understand how to support, because the mama was always doing stuff. The woman was always doing stuff. And they never had to do nothing. So in a relationship, they still ain't doing nothing. We got a caller on the line.
Right.
Hello, caller.
Hi.
On the move, unscripted.
Hi.
On the move, unscripted. I'm just teasing. Hi, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Columbia, Ohio.
Columbia?
Ohio.
Oh,
yeah.
Columbia, Ohio.
I want to commend you, sisters. It's a deep, deep topic. It's very broad, and we do need some men on here to defend themselves, because you're right. The men don't want to support you. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to help you. They don't want to. Yeah, sister, it's very, very bad with the black man. And I'm just speaking about a black man because I'm a black woman. And yeah, I've been in a bad marriage, 25 years, nothing. So many different relationships, nothing. I'm telling you, the black man ain't gonna do nothing, sister, but hurt us. Ignore us. You won't never get a back rub. You won't never get your feet rubbed. You won't never get nothing but you nothing, you this, you that. And yes, sisters, I'm just, oh my God, it's terrible, right? It's terrible, sisters. But you know what I want to say to you, sisters? Y'all need to think about, seriously, I'm talking to y'all very seriously because our black men are very messed up. Y'all agree, right?
Yep. Some of them do got issues. Sure.
Yeah, I'm talking about at least 80% to 90%, right? It's bad.
Wow. I don't know. Well, I got a good one. I got a good one. Woo, praise God.
Well, that's good. So thanks for that. But I'm talking about at least 70 to 80%. It's not good. But what I want to say is this: we need to. I wish they would call in too because I would love to hear what they have to say tonight.
Me
right?
Too. 516-387-1247. Like, which one is going to be brave enough? I want to see what man, because I know you're listening. They be listening. They somewhere to cut his car around the corner. Y'all listen. I want one of y'all to be brave enough to call in here. Columbus, Ohio is representing. Come on, Ohio. Come on, Atlanta House, Kim. Come on, Cleveland. Somebody. One of y'all men.
Well, if you want to call them men, sister, because I don't want to call them men. They little boys to me. They're not even men. They just, oh, my God. Our men is so far gone.
They didn't hurt you. Like, you have really, really.
Yeah.
I can feel the
I mean,
from it.
I don't know one black woman that in my family or nobody that I know that have a good man. I don't know one black woman that had a good relationship with a black man without the black man abusing them and hurting them and mistreating them and knocking their ass upside their head and all kind of stuff, calling them all kind of bitches and hoes. And I don't know one sister that didn't go through that.
Wow.
Sorry for the language. Sorry.
No, I understand.
Oh, no, we say it all the time.
Please, we be able. It's unscripted, boo. You speak your mind. You know what? That's deep. And growing up, I saw a lot. What I saw more of was domestic violence. Domestic violence was horribly a hot mess in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Like, it was really, really, really bad. Like, it wasn't nothing for you to see a man slap a woman and all that kind of stuff in broad daylight. Like, it was worse. It was worse. I'm not saying it's not bad.
In the 90s.
But, well, you talking about...
They killing you now, sis. They literally taking a gun and killing us. These husbands, they killing their wives with... Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
They killing their girlfriends, and you see so much stuff on the news where the husband done killed their wife or their boyfriend went in and killed. Yeah, so
it's getting younger.
Oh.
The ages is getting younger. You're seeing more of the teenage relationships where the teenagers is doing the teenage boy is killing the teenage like it's getting the ages are decreasing.
Hey, that's funny, y'all. Did y'all see the news article? It's not funny because I feel for that lady, that sister. She was 19 years old in the news article about 3 or 4 months ago. It said she texted her 18, 19-year-old boyfriend 66 times. And she walked over to the Niagara Falls. And she texted him she caught the bus there from somewhere. Took her like 7-8 hours to get there. She texted him 66 times. They was in, like, he didn't want to talk to her. He didn't answer the phone. The news says she texted him 66 times, sis, and he did not pick up the phone one time, and she jumped off the Niagara Falls and killed herself. 19 years old. Oh, my God. How can a man not pick up the damn phone 66 times? Right. Oh, my God, sis, that's horrible, man. Horrible.
Oh, man. We're going to have to talk about that. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
great old lady. Did you hear that, Kim? Did you hear that?
I did.
Oh, my God.
I did.
But the thing, so there's two folds to that right there, though, because why are you texting this brother 66 freaking times? And why are you to the point that you are so drawn into this relationship and the fact that he's not calling you that you kill yourself? Like, there was already some mental health, someone right with her already. But she's right. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't he at least pick up the phone and say, stop calling me? But then again, maybe he did. He might have told her stop calling me because you got some crazy females out there too now. You know what I'm saying? There's some crazy ones out there. And all of them ain't right.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to veer so far off the subject though, and it end up being knocking black men down. I don't want to do that. So, right. I mean, what she said was messed up, and all of what she said was it had some validity. I just don't want that to be. You can hear her pain. You can hear her pain. Oh, yeah. So she's someone who, for her, the relationships that she has been in has left a painful taste in her mouth. So she's expressing, from her pain. But everybody's not in that place, and not all men are like that. There are some, and I don't know if I agree with 70%. That's kind of high. I think we got more good men than that. I don't know if 70%. What do you think? You think she said between 70? Might be close. You think so? It might be. It might be close. I mean, like I don't know. I will say that I'm sure it's a high percentage, but I don't know. I can't call a number like that. But if I can say, I want to be more specific as far as like men supporting the organizations that women are a part of. We got a sister, one of our sisters, DJ, has an organization at the table that is about young girls and women and celebrating the survivors of breast cancer. Why are the men not supporting that? Y'all like titties, you know what I'm saying? Y'all men love breasts, but won't support a breast cancer survivor event, or won't support people who are raising money. Not only say necessarily for the cure per se, but whatever, won't support it in that way. What the problem is, you know what I'm saying? You'll have something to say if you come across a woman who has been a victim, if you will, of breast cancer and had to have her breast removed. You'll have something to say about that, but you won't support the organization that's praising the ones who have survived it. You know what I'm saying? If you love the titties, support the titties. Support the movement. You know what I'm saying? Literally.
And all of that becomes support the movement. Point, because most of them are, so the organization, so even within the organization or cancer survivors, there's a man in your life somewhere. Whether it's a brother or your husband or your boyfriend or uncle. So y'all understand the pain. They should be. I don't understand why they wouldn't, because everybody. I don't think there's a man on earth who has not. If he didn't know her intimately, he knew someone who had breast cancer. Like it's a, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why they wouldn't. But let them need something. I'm gonna see if I can get more. Let them need something. Let them be wanting to argue about something. Let's shoot.
Right. I'm going to address my brother that just chimed in on my page. I'm going to ask you to call in, bro. 516-387-1247. The topic is, why don't men support women's movements, women's organizations more? What is it about that why men won't be supportive of women's movements or organizations? So if you would call in so we can hear from a man. 516-387-1247.
Right. Because this is unscripted, and I see your name, so I'm going to call you out. You gotta come on and call.
Okay. And G-Man deep with stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you that right now. When G-Man get to talking, you're going to have to just listen, because he get in it, and he's very detailed and very specific.
Okay.
He'll hit you from all kind of angles with the info. So I'm just telling you, if he calls, and I'm hoping he calls. But if he does, you're going to hear it.
Well, you know what? If anybody, let me tell you something. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, anybody who come down your line, I got to get ready for them anyway because they all come with that intellectual, energy. So if you know them, I might as well go ahead and sit back and get ready for whatever they got to say because it's going down.
Indeed, it's going down for sure.
It's going
so
down.
G-Man, if you can, loved one, call in 516-387-1247. Would love to hear from you or any man that's listening or watching. Call in and share your thoughts. Don't
make me go to women. Don't make me go pull Kitty down here. Don't make me go. In fact, I'll be right back, y'all. Let's take a music break.
Okay.
One of the last scriptures, y'all. We'll be right back.
He's getting ready to call in, so he's going to call in.
Okay.
Let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we're a team. Different days, same story. Got to go out and get that money. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. Got to put that S on my chest today. Superwoman, superwoman. Every superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman, superwoman. Every superwoman needs her Superman. Hey, I gotta pick up the pace. No more time to waste. Gotta put on my case. I gotta win this race. I got far too much to say. Different days, same story. Got to go out and get that money. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. Got to put that S on my chest today. Superwoman, superwoman. Every superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman, superwoman. Every superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman needs her Superman. Superwoman needs her Superman. Hey, I gotta pick up the pace. No more time to waste. Gotta put on my case. I gotta win this race. I got far too much to say. Superman, superwoman. Like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we taking over, and that's no lie. No mountain high, with you by my side. Hey, I'm your superwoman, you're my Superman. Hey, like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we will succeed. Superman, superwoman, like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we taking over, and that's no lie. I got your back, baby, and you got mine. Hey, let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Let's go get that money. Like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we're a team. Superman, superwoman, like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde, we taking over,
we're gonna be down for the long ride. Girl, I had a feeling that the way that you touch me never made me feel so alive. I'm gonna dive right into your body, no I won't lie. Legs in the air, I'm taking you there, run my fingers down your spine. Never a day I'm spinning away, wanna be with you all the time. You're the first thing that I think of when I wake up, baby, and you know how to make love. I don't wanna leave your side, I got your back, I know you got mine. Look in your eyes as you stare into mine. Give you the once over and over again tonight. I see the figures and figured out you were the one who was right. Cause you keep it 100. Yeah, you keep it 100.
You got me coming back. I want your body on mine. You take me to places that you make me feel right. Yeah, you've been so real with me, baby. I'm head over heels with you daily. No one could do it like you. Now everything's better with you. This unexpected kind of love must be sent from up above. Just hold me and don't let go of me, love.
Look in your eyes as you stare into mine. Give you the once over and over again tonight. I see the figures and figured out you were the one who was right. Cause you keep it 100. Yeah, you keep it 100. The look in your eyes as you stare into mine. Give you the once over and over again tonight. I see the figures and figured out you were the one who was right. Cause you keep it 100. Yeah, you keep it 100. Yeah, you keep it 100. For me, yeah, you keep it 100 degrees. You were so fly and I know I don't wanna let you go.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the one and only Missy Jones on the Move Unscripted on Purpose, where conversations can go as planned or off script. So if you're tuned in and ready to get your talk on with your girls, feel free to call in and voice your opinion at 516-387-1247, or sit back and enjoy the conversation. And remember, we are here every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're ready to get your talk on and your groove on with your girls, join in the conversation or sit back and listen while we're talking on the Move Unscripted on Purpose.
You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted Ladies Roundtable Discussion, and we're definitely having one of those topics that we that we don't talk about often, but that a lot of women experience. And we had a caller call in earlier that you could tell the pain that she's experienced from just being in relationships where she was not supported or she was mistreated or whatever. So we're trying to understand, and we're hoping that men will call in. The number is 516-387-1247. I went up there to grab Mr. Stout, but he's on a phone call, so hopefully he'll chime in later if his conference doesn't last long. But we really just want to understand. Maybe we could, we want the men to call in and just, because maybe we're missing something. Maybe there's something that we don't understand because we're not men. So we can't. We can only see it from our perspective and how we look at it. Like, oh, there go my friend right here. Hello. So we got a question, Mr. Stout. We just want to understand from a man's perspective because maybe we're missing something. Like, why is it that some men, and not you by any means, but why is it that some men do not like to support female movements and organizations like breast cancer organizations or just the women as a whole? Like, why is it some men don't do that?
I think it's like sometimes it could be like a competitiveness, like people compete. with each other instead of like trying to like strategize with each other.
You know what Kim was saying that too.
If you're going to like try to get like a one up on somebody, your partner, or even one of your friends or whatever you're doing for organization, men always been like through history, been always like suppressing women anyway. So when trying to break through all of those things, like for those movements, you would have to like find out like why men are doing that though.
Why is it that they wanted to suppress women?
Yeah, like that's the crux of a lot of it, because women have like and we really went like leaps and bounds. Like we have a female president, well, vice president,
right?
But what comes with that?
What you mean?
Like saying like what comes with that type of power, like for empowerment for women. Let's just say that Hillary Clinton was going to be president. Became president, and those organizations that all those things that going through, even on the government side or any other like businesses stuff like that, when it comes to empowering women, what would they be able to change that? Like with the men, like the counterparts. Even with business, like there's mad companies that women own, that's like Fortune 500 companies. But is it out there? Is it like putting out there? Like they're competing with the other ones. Like all of the major ones like Google and all of it, like they all owned by men. But what's the ones that the powerhouse that the women have? You don't even hear about them. That's what I'm saying. Like where are they at?
Right. It's not that they're there. They're there, but they don't. Like they make it hard for them. Like they had to come up with a whole bunch of different grants and rules and regulations because we know that men were doing things to keep women from rising.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like even as a country, like
other countries do it too, and America is not like they're a lot more far advanced than any countries like around halfway around the world when it comes to that kind of stuff. But like to try to get it to a point that's like comprehensive with everybody, like then it's got to be really put out there. It's got to be promoted and marketed.
What was the country that we were talking about where they cut the woman's?
Libya, I think it was Somalia.
So that's like wow. So that to me is like another form of control. I just think it has a lot to do, like you said, with control and with jealousy and for those who
competition in business when men and women like in a relationship, men and women will wind up finding themselves competing with each other. Instead of trying to do like together. Because of whatever who's the household, like wearing the pants thing, especially in our society right now. That's what I think. A lot of women are the breadwinners and the ones who are in the house, who's like the controlling of the house.
So you are.
I also think that's one of the reasons why a lot of men are not there, because I don't know. I heard Steve Harvey say once that a man has to have a title. They have to feel their manhood, and if you making like double or quadruple what he making, although that's all the money in the same pot, it still does something to a man's mental. His mentality that, he's being a little bit less of a man because she don't need him. And then we got a lot of women out here like, I don't need you. I want you. But men need to feel needed, because if you doing all the manly things in the house and you pay, the bills and all the rest of that stuff, then what is his purpose of even being there?
So,
and that's just kind of how it was pointed out to me.
Point. I want to say this, and this is in defense to the men. And I so when I was still married, and my ex-husband, he had a white, was it blue collar job, right? Mm-hmm. He was bringing home his money, whatever. But I had exceeded that because I was back then. The nurses was making, they still making the same thing.
Wow. But it's still making the same thing.
Back then it was great. Right now that's bull crap.
That's the thing.
Right, they're still, but back then things were cheaper. You're right. They have not changed the pay. Look, it's crazy. But I remember at that time I hadn't gone through my wilderness or my tunnel, as Kim says, or my tower moment or whatever. I was still in that, I'm doing this. Like, this is, I'm making more. I'm carrying everything. There was a little bit of that in me.
Yeah.
But when we separated, I will say this: when we separated and we divorced, and I found out what it's really like to truly be on my own, then I realized what he did bring to the table. It may not have been at the same, wasn't given at the same, level as me, but he was given it. When you go from being in a 2-parent home, a 2-family home, whatever, where the money's coming in, even if you making more than him, if it's coming in, it's still taking care of the house. But if you start thinking it's me, you got some women that are like that mistreat the men because they are making more. But I learned when we split up, oh, baby.
I can remember when my parents, like, I was older. My parents, that's in the 90s, you know what I mean? And when they started split up, things got a little tough.
We got a caller. So I'm gonna pull in the first caller. I hope it's a man. No, baby, don't leave, because this might be one who don't think like you. I hope it's a man. So the number, you have 931. Hello?
Yeah.
You want to move up?
There he is.
That's the
G-Man right there.
All righty, G-Man.
Yes,
so what?
Okay.
First, where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Atlanta.
Atlanta in Al. Okay, so what is your take on why men don't support female movement and organization?
I think that when it comes to men not supporting certain things, female organizations, especially with certain pertinent type of movements as dealing with breast cancer and things of that nature. I believe that one part had to do with men being distracted. I believe that many men are distracted in that many are dealing with prostate cancer themselves. They're dealing with, then you don't just have breast cancer. That's a problem with women. Women have ovarian cancer. That's a problem. And then men have prostate cancer, colon cancer. I mean, I never knew that there were so many cancers to have. They have skin cancer and all these other kinds of cancers now may be one aspect of it. And then there may be another side to it where men, some men have a desensitized, insensitive disposition based on being desensitized from our natural connection to our woman, because we should have a natural connection to the black woman. The black woman should have a natural connection to us, and that connection does not involve the energy that comes on the charges that are on certain words that we use when we call each other certain things like B's and H's and MFs and all of that. See, to me, there's an underlining disrespectful culture that we've taken on and accepted as a terms of endearment. But the terms of endearment have a dual reaction from back within us, because if somebody uses B as a term of endearment, but then when somebody calls you that from a vicious nature, now you're mad.
That's right.
If somebody has calls another person an MF, okay, that's my come on MF, and then they're kicking it. But then the next time somebody calls them an MF, now they're mad, now they're angry because they're calling them that from a different context. But the word itself has a negative charge on it, so the mindset of us in terms of our unity, I think that blocks. Men are distracted with jail. They're busting us upside the head and all of this other type of stuff. Notwithstanding the fact that not stating that that's some kind of excuse. The difference in an excuse and a reason.
Wow.
the reason can or cannot excuse. It could excuse, it could not excuse, but that has nothing to do with the reaction. I'm talking about the factual part of certain things that men might be focused on. And then there's this other idea that, okay, that's something that maybe women don't want us involved in. Some men may feel like that, like it's something that may make men feel uncomfortable because women, so many women are in it, and then they feel like it's a feminine thing, and not to necessarily say that it's not, but it's a family thing. But if their mother has cancer, then it's a family thing. If their daughter has cancer, then it's a family thing. If their aunt has cancer, then it's a family thing. If their niece has cancer, then it's a family thing. So I think, and then there may be some situations where women may be insensitive to some things that men have. Not as much, I don't believe. But there may be some things that the way this society pushes and manipulates the gender of both people, and then you got this cross-up stuff that's in between all that messes up that, not trying to go there necessarily yet. But I'm just stating that I don't believe that all men consciously say, I'm just not going to support women's breast cancer. I haven't had any woman to ask me to support it. Now I have an ex-wife. I mean, I'm a widow. I'm a widower, and my wife had passed from breast cancer. So I have a problem, and I have a feeling of going to war with cancer. I hate cancer. I hate the idea of breast cancer because I had to go through watching my wife, the flesh fall from her bones, and it was a long 2-year and 3-year fight with the cancer. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not speaking from a insensitive, desensitized disposition. I'm speaking from a position where I had to fight, and I had to be there and wait on her hand and foot, and I had to aid her, and I had to do things for her and all of that, and I wanted to do it. And then there was a time when we were supposed to be separated, but I didn't let that stop me. It wasn't about separation. It was about her life. So I went in depth and aided her and did everything I could do to help her to have life. There was a few family situations involved. There's always there. But my point is not to diminish the value of the conversation with that, but to state that many men have gone through anguish from their women in their family going through breast cancer. So I don't think that men are necessarily altogether insensitive. I think that it may be that they need to know that it's okay. It's okay for you to help. That doesn't mean that you demasculated, and that don't mean that you're not. You know what I mean? That don't mean that you're not a man or something. I mean, man, see, we have to mature.
Yep. We got another caller, so let me put the caller in,
right,
and let them join in the conversation.
Yes, sir.
So you have 204 in your number. You called On the Move Unscripted Ladies Roundtable Discussion. Where are you calling from, and what would you like to say about the conversation?
This is Patrick.
Patrick! Oh my gosh! So Patrick, what are your thoughts about? First of all, it's good to hear your voice. Haven't heard you in a while. And secondly, I know we definitely would like to know, what are your thoughts about the conversation? Why do you think?
First of all, I would like to know what is this women's movement that you're referring to, or what are the goals of this women's movement?
Well, it's just something in general. Just something in general.
Okay.
Like,
right.
Rather, it may not always be, it may not be breast cancer, just something that they want to start, or if they want to start a business or something like that. There are a lot of times when their mate is just not supportive, and we just want to know why. Why not?
Yeah, I don't. There again, I don't know where you guys are finding these kind of guys, but okay. So
I don't.
I think. I really don't understand where you would. Anyway, but yeah. So as far as having support, I think anybody that you're in a relationship, I mean, that's a minimum that they should support you, right? I mean, we've seen where women would want to, take extra classes or go back to school or whatever, or even go to school for somebody who's young, and they're with somebody who's not really down with that. I mean, they're in a mismatched situation, and I don't, that's a pick'em thing, right? Like who are you picking to be in a relationship with? That person may just not be for you. So I don't. If two people are married and one wants to start a business, I don't really see. I mean, unless they want to start a business and what they want to do kind of will put the family in jeopardy financially or something like that. I mean, maybe if that's the case, but yeah, I don't see it. As far as a movement, I can see. I think women have more education. They have more employment opportunities. They're making more money. If we're going to zero in on black women, you guys are, filling up. As far as going to university, you guys are filling up the classrooms. It's not even close, women and black men who's in the universities. So you have all the advantages. Or you're having more advantages than you had. I don't know. It seems like in some ways things are moving ahead for you, but now you got to get out here and do all these things that you want to do. I don't know whether are things getting. Do you see things getting worse or better or? I guess I want to hear from the women. Like, are things getting better? Things are better for you now as far as those things are concerned.
For me, you know what, Patrick? For me, I will say it got better when I changed my relationship because I ended up meeting someone who I was more equally yoked to. Like we both had the same passion and the same likes and the same temperament. And so at that point, it has gotten better. But there was a young lady who called in earlier that she was like 70 to 80% of the men ain't about nothing. That's a large number of men that she just, her experiences and the experiences of her family members and women that she's known in her life. She said she's never seen a good relationship. She's never seen a positive relationship between a man and woman. The man was always beating the woman down emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and that's a big thing.
That's a huge factor right there.
Yeah, but I think that's a bit much. Come on, I mean, she picked those. Man. You pick your mate. If I came out here and said, you know what, most of the women, 70-80% of the women ain't nothing. Like 90% of the women ain't nothing. It's maybe 10 about something, but 90% of the women ain't nothing. I could start bringing up a whole lot of examples of what I've seen and what other people have gone through. That so what? And even if it was me that was going through, you'd be like, who are you? How are you picking women? You guys would be on the line like, where are you finding these women? Like, what are you talking about? And that's what I have to say. Where are you finding? If your whole life is just dealing with low life, then what pond are you swimming in?
If you're shown,
I don't get it.
That's part of the upbringing.
I got a point, and I just want to say this, and then I want one of the ladies to jump in. Not also, some of these relationships where the men are not being supportive, they're not no shabby men. They're not no low life type men. They're not. I mean, there's something. you know, if we really go into the dimensions of some of these homes, you would already see that whole dynamic where the woman is supporting the man, but the man don't want to do the same thing for the woman. It's not necessarily because she found a joker. You know, he might be the corporate leader of some big corporation, but his wife, she probably got all kind of gifts, talents, things she want to do, but he's keeping her suppressed.
Yeah,
he's keeping her restricted.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's keeping her
okay,
pregnant. He's doing things to keep her from.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, that is a different thing. That's right.
That's a whole horse of a different color. Because I believe that when it comes to that has to do with the moral disposition and the perspective of what the man believes the role is of him and her. In my religious order, we state that the home is the woman's space, but not necessarily her place. So, because women, we're taught that a woman can do everything that a man can do except that which degrades her. And so, women are to be uplifted and placed in a high position, because if you think about it, if the women are low rated, then we've just low rated the children. Because if we low rate the educational disposition and status of the woman, then we just low rated the disposition and status of the children, because she's the first teacher of the children. So indirectly, we've just minimized the education of our future. So if we understand how the connection goes, then we'll understand the need and the validity of uplifting and supporting her in her gifts and talents and her disposition and the things that she wants to do. Because put it this way, if and sisters are, you are very making money, and women are intelligent, and they're doing things, even though the white man might have his own agenda as to, and some people, men on jobs, may have their agenda for bringing women on it that have nothing to do with the reason why the women are there. However, you still, you're right. However, you still are being progressive in certain terms. However, sometimes the men may feel like because they've escaped a minimal kind of activity that where the world is focused almost indirectly on destroying the black man, because the other men of other nations are intimidated by the black man. And when we stand up on our perpendicular on our square, when we do respect the black woman, when we do respect our family, when we do raise the standard of elevation and respect and protection of our women, then that's when we get a problem from a whole nother level. That's when we get attacked from a whole nother level. But so what? So what? I'm ready for it. Bring it. Because see, that's the attitude we have to have when we're dealing with the exercising of the gifts and talents. And because if you go act like that with your wife, with what you're telling your daughter, you minimizing her too. But you don't want her to go to school and become. You don't want her to study architecture. Because when she becomes an architect, you act like she can't be one. I mean, you're gonna if she's an engineer, then she's very brilliant. Are you sitting there getting jealous of your own daughter's desire to be an engineer? I mean, come on, we're tripping. They're tripping. But
we have another call.
But a real man. That's why the brother said we don't. He said, where are these dudes coming from? The post sister said 80%. That means 80% of the type of people that she's drawn to or she gets with, 80% of them are messed up. That don't necessarily mean that 80% of all the black men on the planet in America messed up. That means there's something about her way that's attracting a certain type of person. Because sometimes there's something in us that's not correct that causes us to attract other people that's not correct for us.
Let's bring on this.
So it's always
let me
right. It's always about us looking at self. Sometimes you got to look at self. Self-improvement is the basis of community development.
Right.
Not community improvement, the basis of self-development.
Right.
I got to start with myself.
Right.
I'm here because of the topic of the show.
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
What did you say?
I'm here because of the topic of the show, where it says why don't men support more women's
What's your name?
movements.
Where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Joe.
You
calling from Montana.
Okay,
Montana.
Joe Montana.
Montana. All right. So what would you like to add to the topic?
All right. So what I want to know is what movements are you talking about that that men are not supporting to such a degree that it causes such concern?
Well, so we're basically talking about anything that, like, when a woman decides she wants to start a business. Let's just say in a household where there's a husband and wife, or man and woman are working together, and the woman has decided, you know what, I want to start a business. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, sometimes, I'm not gonna say all the time, but sometimes if the men are not supportive, they will do and say everything to make that woman feel like what she wants to do is not important, or it's not going to work, or there's not enough time. But he, on the other flip, will have all kind of stuff going on that he expects her to help him with, assist him with, or he might be like, your job is to take care of the home. I got out here, but I got dreams and wishes and goals and things I'm trying to do too. That's what I want to do too. Why do I got to lose myself or who I am as a woman, or why do I got to crush my spirit, my entrepreneurial spirit, because you don't want me to rise? That's what we're talking about. And then also, why don't men support more organizations like the breast cancer stuff and stuff like that, different movements and things that women are involved in, and all that kind of stuff? Why is it that it's a struggle to get men to support? Am I saying that right?
With the breast cancer. Yeah, with the breast cancer movement, yeah. Women have got about 30,000 breast cancer clinics, whereas there's only about 5 or 6 clinics for men with regards to health and other issues around the country. So breast cancer or other types of health issues, women have it overwhelmingly, in the numbers a lot more than what men have. Now, getting back to your particular situation where it's a family, I presume you're talking about. Now, we have to talk about how long have they been married, and how long has she either been working or a housewife. If she's been a housewife for 4 or 5 or 6 years, and the man's bringing home the bacon, and she married him because he's supposedly the leader, and all of a sudden she gets up one day and says, I've got an entrepreneurial spirit in me. I want to see if I can become like Jeff Bezos. Now, if she hasn't had any experience being an entrepreneur outside of maybe having a lemonade stand when she was about 11 years of age, you have to ask yourself, why is it she's got this sudden shift of attitude? That's a very reasonable thing to ask by the husband. I mean, if the husband was to all of a sudden say, I'm making about $150,000 a year, but I'm tired of my job. What I want to do is become a freelance painter. How many women are going to go, you know what, sweetheart? I'm with you. You don't need the money. Let's just pursue your dreams. You think that would happen?
No, I do not. You are correct on that,
okay.
Sir. No, I do not. But,
right.
Okay, let me give you a scenario. I was married for 16 years. And when we first got married, my husband went enlisted into the service. And he said, babe, just be my backbone for these 4 years. And then when my 4 years is up, if there's something that you want to do, because we had young children, so I stayed at home. And he said, if there's something that you want to do after these 4 years is up, I could either re-enlist or I'll get a job. I'll cover us. You cover me, I cover you. Cool. I felt like that was an excellent deal. I was his backbone. I'm the one who helped him pass a lot of his tests, that he was taking to go up in rank, so I felt like we were solid. But when his time was over, and he did get out of the service, but the job that he did get, he was making more money working a government job than what he did in service. So once we got settled in the new location, we let like a year pass by, kind of get used to the area, learn my way, the familiarity. I was ready to be a nurse because I'm figuring, well, we have these kids and, sometimes bills get a little tight, and I'm like, well, once we save up enough money, and I would just work different odd-end jobs, but that's not my purpose in life. And I knew that I wanted to be a nurse. We've already discussed it while we were doing this for years. Oh, yeah, well, I got you. Just let me get done with this service stuff. I'm ready to get out of here. Whoop-de-whoop. But my turn never came. Not only did I get such negative feedback, constant arguments, then, well, you just want to go to school to meet people, and then he enrolled in school. Well, I decided I wanted to go back to school, too. So now we got to find a babysitter because I'm trying to pursue a nursing degree because I figure, well, with you making what you make, and if I become a nurse, that would kind of double our money, put us in a whole different income bracket. And we were young, like we were in our mid-20s, so I'm like, that would be awesome. By the time we're 30, we have a nice fabulous house. That time never came because the support, when it was time for him to support me, it never came. It was excuse after excuse after excuse. And it just got to the point where I was just losing myself. Next thing you know, I don't even realize who I am, what I want. I'm just walking on eggshells, living my life to please him. And unfortunately, if it was in the 20s or 30s, that would have been okay. But in the 90s, when we were beginning to arise and emerge, that was not okay. And it came all the way down. It became such a huge argument that it came to a simple choice. Either you want to stay with somebody who's not going to be in support of you, or you're going to have to forego this alone. And foregoing it alone means being a single parent, mean the small things that the little things, the small things that people don't really think about when the men are present. That means you're doing everything, but I had to keep my sense of self. And so I made the choice that I needed to make for me because I don't want to be with somebody who's not in it 100% like I'm in it 100% because to me that's not a unionship. It's not. But you are correct.
Right,
if
so
my husband was
what I'm getting okay, is that he was in the service and he had actually talked it over and made a serious discussion about it and actually made a serious commitment to one another that he was going to do his 4 years. And when he came out, then it was your turn. I mean, that was an actual search. Because a lot of times people just do pillow talk, and they say, you know what, this is, when the future comes, I'd like to be able to do this, as opposed to the serious discussion where there's a commitment. So you're saying that you actually had the commitment from him, that he knew at the end of 4 years that he did. Well, then he reneged on his promise. He should have made the promise, and he shouldn't have reneged on it.
Exactly. So not all men are in it to be supportive. Some men want to just be, and I'm not saying that about all men, because I've seen men who was the backbone, let their wife go to school, degrees roll in, the positions in the job get higher, the money has gotten better, the lifestyle of living and comfortability was setting in. That's all I asked for. But I don't want to constantly, at the end of my time, when it's time to retire, I have to depend on this man who's been selfish all those years. I'm not willing to do that. I don't want my retirement check to be so low. Like, wow, I mean, with my retirement money, because I know somebody close to my family.
So, Point, we have another.
I understand that.
Callers that want to join in on the conversation. So I'm going to pull one and then the other. So caller, you have 571 in your number. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Jay Walker. I'm calling from North Las Vegas, Nevada. Kimmy is my sister. I love you, Kim. Yeah, that's my sister right there. I love you. I look at the light, girl. You know that. Believe that.
What's going on? So what are you talking about? What are your thoughts about the conversation? What are your thoughts? Why do you feel that men don't support female movements and organizations? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that's an individual thing because, and this is just me. If my queen wants to do some things, then I'm going to support her because she supports me. That's the reason why she's the queen of the castle. You understand? So I believe that nowadays it's more of an individual thing. And like you said, Kimmy, during the prohibition and, during prohibition before women suffered, I think that there was still a lot of men that supported the dreams of their wives. But the status quo at that time stated that women needed to be either barefooted and pregnant at home, or they needed to be teachers or something, quote, teachers and nurses, or something, quote unquote, fitting for a woman at that time. But see, nowadays, now that a lot of us brothers and sisters are starting to get awakened, the sisters are saying, look, we ain't living in 1957 no more. And either you are with me or you can forget me, which makes sense. And the brothers are starting to think more outside of the box, like, please, I got women that's lifting beams and doing construction on my job. Shoot, if that woman can, my woman can do anything that she wants to too now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, while a lot of brothers are starting to think like that, a lot of brothers are still on their shoes. I'm the man of this house. You're going to be around here walking barefoot and pregnant. You're going to be cooking dinner. Okay, if that be the case, how in the hell is she going to cook dinner when you ain't bringing nothing home? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
In other words, if a man wants a before suffrage woman, I believe that before a woman becomes a before suffrage woman, that she gonna need a before suffrage man that went out there and got it by hook or by crook to make sure that she got something to fry up in the pan. We don't see while brothers call themselves wanting an obedient woman. We don't want to be obedient to our side of the relationship. We want our woman to be right there. We want our woman to be right there, making sure that the chicken and the macaroni and cheese is hot. But how in the world is she gonna do that if you ain't brought home no chicken and macaroni and cheese, or you too busy hanging out on the corner trying to make $1 out of 15 cents rather than taking your greasy behind the work?
So
you know what I'm saying?
So we got another caller. So let me bring in the other caller. Caller, you're calling from Columbus, Ohio. So what are your thoughts? You have 36 in your number. So what are your thoughts? First, tell us your name, because I believe you're calling from Columbus, Ohio. What is your name, and what are your thoughts? Why do you think that men don't support female movements and organizations? What are your thoughts?
Well, my name is Misty Jones, and I am calling on the Move Unscripted on purpose. Ladies round table.
What's going on?
All right,
Misty, what are your thoughts?
Family night. So we playing games and stuff, but my take on it for the last couple minutes is that a lot of men already go through a lot of things, argumentative and all that stuff with their women. So they don't want to join because they already look at us as mother figures, sisters, whatever. Some of them they look at the females as their homeboys, but in this case, I feel like men, don't want to hear or don't want to feel like they are being told what to do.
Oh, that's deep. So that's your take on. That's your take on it.
Yeah, that's my take on it. It's like them, because we already are nurturers and we got motherly instincts, and I've had a lot of my male friends tell me like, you ain't my mama, or I got sisters at home. I don't need no big sis. You know what I'm saying? So. I think it's more of they don't want to really too much deal with us. They don't want to hear, their motherly instincts and all that stuff.
That's deep.
Okay. May I?
Yes.
Speak on that for a second. I will say this, and maybe this is just me. It might be the gospel of Big J. I'm not sure. But as much as I say, I might not want that. And as much as it may get on my doggone nerves, I know for a fact that if a woman loves a man in any way like his mama loves him or has loved him, that is a beautiful thing. And while it may get on a man's nerves, a man is always going to want a woman that's similar to his mama with her nurturing. And sometimes the queen's role in the kingdom is to put foot to the king's behind rather than pat him on the back. Sometimes the queen got to say, "Boy, if you don't wipe your tears and get off your butt and make something happen," just like my mama used to do me, just like my mama still does me. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we see it as being a blessing that a woman that did not have anything to do with bringing us into this world, loving us like the woman that did. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not a bad thing. I mean, sometimes we just don't feel like hearing it. But let's put it like this: it may not be what we want, but most of the time, it's what we need. Most of the time, it's what we need. And the same thing can be said about the man and the woman, because woman, I done heard it come out of my ex-wife a few times. Boy, you ain't none of my daddy. You quit talking to me like you my dad. I already have my dad. You ain't gonna talk to me like you my daddy. Okay. I tell you, and once again, the rebuttal to that is this: I wouldn't have to talk to you like a child if you didn't act like one.
Yeah, that's deep.
I wouldn't have to talk to you like a child if you didn't act like one. So, I mean, it goes both ways. And another thing I like to... Oh, go ahead. I apologize. I'm long-winded. Go right on ahead.
Sometimes they never had that experience, and it could be that they're... what am I trying to say? that they're I forgot this that fast. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, they have that experience. They could be afraid.
Right.
Too.
Right. And another reason that I believe that there are a few brothers out there that won't support their queen's dream. Well, number one, I don't care if you're male or female. If your other half does not support you in your dream, cut them off. Period.
Yeah, he don't care. He don't care what you about. You know, if somebody ain't supporting you, they don't care. That too.
Wow.
They don't care about your dreams and your ambitions and your goals or none of that. They just trying to get what they can get right then and there. And that's why I sit by myself, because I love me some me.
This was a deep first of all, I want to thank all the men who called in or who was a part of this. You know, so this was the men who called in supported us. You know what I'm saying? So, like I always say, everybody, not all men are not supportive. So every man who said, "Let me call in," or let me join this topic so I can support them in what they're talking about and give my opinion. I applaud all of y'all. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. So that's a prime example to show that not all men are non-supportive. Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Yes. That's good. So, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all for.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We all really of your input. We greatly appreciate it. I'm especially happy that Patrick called in. This is our Marie talking. I've been waiting. For you to call in patiently. So thank you, Patrick. You definitely made my evening.
Hopefully they will, join us again next week, on our different topics or whatever, because we always like to encourage the men to be a part of our topics. Our goal is not to men bash or anything like that. We just want to talk about the things that are important to us so you can hear it from a woman's perspective, like this is how we feel, because you don't know how many men or even women who are listening tonight or might listen later who could say, I've experienced that, or wow, I didn't realize I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that men call in and Mr. Stout joined in to really, and it sounded like every one of the men that called in actually was on our side. Like, you're right. Like, why y'all tripping? And they all gave their different, feelings and theories and stuff about that. So I thought that was dope. But we're in our last minute and a half. Y'all know how we do. So any last words y'all want to say within the last minute? Or Marie or Kim or
Listen, one thing I would like to say really quick is that I do appreciate the men calling in, because our opinions can be very different. Even though the men that called in this evening have been in agreement with us, it's always good to hear the man's point of view, because a lot of times we miss that connection. So, and they were able to answer our questions, and we got the answers from men. So that was pretty.
Yeah, that was cool. What about you, Kim, in our last minute?
I talk too much, so let's just do this again. Let's have a conversation again. I wanted to touch on something bigger than that, and we didn't get to it, so we'll do it again. But I definitely appreciate the men for showing up and speaking, and we are encouraging you all to continue to do so. Your voice matters. What you say matters, even if we don't agree. That's to get an understanding of what's being said.
Yes. Until next week, y'all, On the Move Unscripted Ladies Roundtable Discussion, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, blogtalkradio.com /Trish Goins. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. And make sure y'all go and support www.attrinc.org, because they are for breast cancer, and they need that support, and they're having a fundraiser this weekend. But until next week, peace and love to all y'all. Peace and love to y'all. Bye, y'all.
Can these dry bones live? time to make these other nations eat their words. Come on. Kwam Yasharal.
We ain't dead no more.
Nope.
Dry bones rising from the grave.
Come on.
From the ghetto, hello, here now, once found, free from heavy metal. Shackles off my feet, now I'm mashing on the pedal. Chasing the highest calling, that's why I never settle. Our ancestors had affection for heathen nations ill, so they rejected Yah and decided to rebel. So they threw them curses on them, sold us to everybody, yet nobody really wanted us. Scattered the four corners, 400 years for these dry bones alive, trying to navigate slavery with hate on every side. Now that we are alive, gotta let the flesh die. That's prophetic of the day, we take it in the sky. Until the trumpet blow, keep your oil filled. Prayer and meditation, develop like a skill. I speak revival, let the righteous be filled. I speak deliverance, let the sick be healed.
Yo, it's your boy DJ 9D, and I'm here to let y'all know it's going down September 25th between 7 and 11 p.m. at the Studio House Atlanta. Yes, Hook Up Atlanta is back. Mr. Hanky will be in the building as we rock to Twerkulator, Wobble, Living My Best Life, and more. It will be filled with live performances from independent artists, vendors, food, drinks, industry professionals, networking, and more. For tickets or to learn, visit AtlantaMusicIndustry.com. That's music with a Z, not S. Pre-sale tickets will be available. And yes, Kicking the Old School will be in the building, so come hook up with us.